Hello and welcome. I'm Lloyd. This is the Dressing Gown Diary. It's the preview of the second test, the review of the first test. Of course, it's the Ashes. And there were you lot thinking that I just do rugby. I can do anything. Given that it's summer as well, we've loosened off and gone to a little silk number in the dressing gown. The fluffy one's a little too warm. So, what do I want to talk about in this show? I want to talk about England batting. I want to talk about DRS and reviews. I want to talk about Australian resolve. And I want to talk about team changes for the second test. So let's start off. Well, firstly, the first test was a magnificent test. It had everything. It was action-packed. There was stuff going on constantly. You couldn't take your eyes off it. You didn't know which team was going to be on top from one moment to the next, let alone a session or a day. Now, English batting, they came out in the first test. I think they were still in ICC Champions Trophy mode. Lads, it's a test match. Knuckle down. Make some runs. Concentrate. Don't go chasing after loose balls. It's the first innings of a test Australian series. They were all too nervous. They gave their wickets away. I was really happy with the resolve that Bell showed in the second innings. However, it only just turned into a match-winning innings. He's got to go on from that point and make 150. It puts the game beyond Australia. Making 100? Yeah, really good. But go on, make a daddy 100. So we've really got to look for the English batting lineup in this test. They've really got to knuckle down. I want to see Patience and I want to see Trott, Cook, Peterson, Bell all getting in the runs. We need a big 100. We need a 150 from someone. So the contentious part of the first test, DRS and reviews. Well, Stuart Broad, you don't really want to play poker against that guy, given the fact that he's absolutely smashed a nick there to the keeper that's bounced onto first slip, and he's just stood there with a look of, what? Nothing happened. Carry on. Amazing scenes, mainly due to the fact that Clark and his bad use of the review system. Australia were woeful in their use of reviews. They got anxious. They were reviewing everything. Leg side LBWs, dodgy decisions. Didn't really work out for them. England have always used their review system well. There are a couple. One of them, Phil Hughes. It bounced what? The seam inside the in the line of the leg stump, which they get the decision. Of course, the last wicket as well. Brad had in that was a review, but a valid one though. He nicked it. So DRS and review systems come in for some debate in the last week, but I like the system, and it's all about how you use it as a team. And England have got this down to a T with Pryor, Cook and the bowler all having input and all deciding what to do. So the third point I want to talk about is Australian resolve. There was a lot of chat coming into this test, both of them saying, oh, it's going to be a 10-0 win, the Australians are rubbish. There is no such thing as a rubbish Australian team. They always get themselves up for it. They always make it hard. They ask questions of you. I think the English batsman was surprised at how the bowling unit worked. Peter Siddle, he rocks in with a fifer. No one really expected that. So the Australian resolve, it'll be interesting now. If they'd lost by 150 runs in the first test, it's probably easier to pick yourselves up. You've just lost by 14. Can you mentally pick yourself up with back-to-back tests? They haven't had long off. They've really got to get their head back in the game. Time will tell. We'll know probably by the day 2 of the Lord's Test. But I've been very impressed with how Australia have dealt with the situation. They seem to have a bit of unity. They're playing strongly. And clearly the biggest signing of the summer for them was Darren Lehmann. He's really brought them together, where Mickey Arthur perhaps didn't. So the last point, this is the preview of the second test that actually we're about to kick off. Team changes, well, I like the fact that England have swapped Finn, who had a poor test. They brought in Bresnan. It strengthens the batting lineup. It offers them something different. And Australia have made 2 changes. I think that's down to mental weakness. That it's so difficult to get yourselves up. Same as the Lions team had, the Australian against the Lions. They had difficulty getting themselves up for the third test. So that Cowan has gone and Harris has come in. They've also made another change, Stark out, for Harris. So they're bringing something different. This is a great summer of cricket. It's lined up perfectly. England will hope that they can bat Australia out of this match and out of the series. If they go 2-0 up, surely it's all over. Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, do come through to me on Twitter at Dressing Gown Diaries. But for now, this is Lloyd and the preview show of the second Ashes Test. Over and out.